if they ask us to find a polynomial of degree 4, so we know there's 4 zeros, although some of them could be repeats, that has zeros -5i and 2 plus the square root of 6. Then even though they don't give them, we know that the zeros, if we have -5i, then we know we also have +5i. They go together. I should put which has all rational coefficients in here. If 2 plus square root of 6 is a 0, then 2 minus the square root of 6 is automatically going to be a 0. So our function consists of x plus 5i from this one, x minus 5i from this one, minus 2 plus square root of 6, and x minus 2 minus the square root of 6. Technically speaking, I should put parentheses around each of these and then carry the negative through, but it'll just switch it to the other one. So you really can't go wrong as long as you put a minus in front of the 2. Now, to multiply this out, there are a couple of shortcuts that'll help super muchly. You know that a plus b times a minus b is a squared minus b squared, right? Because when you FOIL it out, middle terms cancel. So anytime you multiply conjugates, you can use this instead of completely FOILing it out. Here we've got x plus and minus 5i. This is going to multiply out to x squared minus 5i squared. The first one squared minus the second one squared. This, likewise, notice that the sign change is here. So this is x minus 2 plus square root of 6, and x minus 2 minus the square root of 6. So the first one is x minus 2 squared minus the square root of 6 squared. X minus 2 plus and minus square root of 6 multiplies out to x minus 2 squared and minus square root of 6 squared. So over here, I've got x squared minus 25i squared. I have to square both of these. Here, now one shortcut is multiplying the conjugates. The other shortcut is that since a plus b squared is a plus b times a plus b, sorry, which when you multiply it out gives you a squared. ab plus ab is 2ab plus b squared. So I'm going to shortcut this. When you square out a binomial, you always get the first one squared. Your middle term is this times 2. So minus 2x doubled would be minus 4x. And then your last term is going to be the 2 squared is 4 minus the square root of 6 squared is 6. So this is x squared plus 25 minus 25i squared is the same thing as plus 25. Here we have x squared minus 4x. Positive 4 minus 6 would be minus 2. And then to multiply all this out, I'm doing x squared times these 3, plus 25 times these 3. So that should give me x to the 4th minus 4x cubed minus 2x squared, here, here, and here. And then 25 times these is 25x squared minus 100x minus 50. Now, plus minus minus, plus minus minus, plus minus minus, the signs are right. The exponents are 2, 1, 0. So this goes 4, 3, 2, same pattern. 2, 1, 0. Okay, so f of x is going to equal x to the 4th minus 4x cubed plus 23x squared minus 100x minus 50. The tricky part on these is to get it all multiplied out without making a sign mistake, without making an exponent mistake, without making any mistake. Every single time you multiply two terms, you have to do 3 things right. You have to get the sign right, you have to get the number right, and you have to get the exponent on the variable right. So every time you multiply, you have to get 3 things right. If you multiply 3 terms times 3 terms, you're going to end up multiplying 3 times 3 is 9 times. All of those 9 times, you have to get the sign right, the number, the coefficient right, and the exponent right. So if you multiply 3 times, and each of those 9 times, if you multiply 9 times, and each of the 9 times you have to get 3 things right, then that is 27 times that you have to do it exactly right. So you have to be really, really careful. And where you're going to make most of your mistakes is in your signs and what you put down as an exponent.